Hey guys, Mike here with Epic Duck Studios. Just giving you part 2 of the Orca construction blog here. A couple things I want to show you. This is the parts list. This side's listed with words, this side is the matching diagrams. You can actually find them in your pile of parts. There are 52 different numbered parts here, and that's not counting the things that there are 2 or 4 or 6 or even 8 of. So there's 52 distinct, unique parts to this, and a lot of them there's multiples of. Now, they don't really give you any instructions to follow. What they do are give you things like this, and like this, and this. That's it. I get a couple pages of diagrams showing me what it's supposed to look like when different parts are assembled. Like, I can tell in the command center, there's the ethereal in his chair, there's a crew in his chair, there's the crossbeam right across here. So I can tell where some of the parts go, but there's no specific do this first, do this next kind of instructions. So it's really up to you to kind of look at a bunch of pictures and figure out what goes where. The other really fun part about this kit, and I'm using the word fun loosely at this point, some of the mold, not so much mold lines are actually pretty good on this kit, but when they're pouring resin they have to make vents to pour the mold or pour the resin into. This is probably the worst example. These 3 pieces right here are just the channels they had to pour the resin into. So I have to actually cut these off the model, which sounds pretty easy, but I mean, it's, you know, 1/4 inch thick resin, and it's big enough that I can't really get a razor saw in there to do it. So I'm gonna have to really, probably got this with a Dremel tool. It's gonna be fun. We'll get it done though, of course. A lot of the resin vents are easier to clean off. For example, we have these engine vents here, and there's just one little piece of round sprue that just comes off with a regular pair of hobby clippers. Most of it's like that, so for the most part it's easy, but then you get things like those. And then there's parts in between, like this piece has 3 of the same type on the nose, but they're a lot smaller, so they're going to be a lot easier to clip off. These you can probably just clip in 2 steps by clipping the one angle and then clipping them side to side. I'm not going to do that on camera. I want to make sure I'm paying attention when I do it, but it's probably a much simpler cleanup. All in all though, there's 52 distinct pieces here, a lot of which, like, there's 4 of these, there's 4 of these, though I actually got 8 in the kit for some reason, so I've got some spares. There's 2 each of these boys. These are actually the engines themselves. Want to show you one little bit disappointing part. There's actually a little bit of shipping damage here on this one piece. It's just a little bit chipped up there, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of green stuff work just to bring that back. It's the only piece that's really damaged in the whole kit though, so all in all I think that's a pretty good ratio. Now here's the one other part, and this is really kind of disappointing. These are the burst cannons that go on the turret. You can kind of just see what's wrong there. And there. And there. And on top of that, they have this really gnarly mold line that just runs the whole side of the piece, the whole side of this piece. Like, there's a lot of cleanup to do here. I might even have to like scratch build this or use some burst cannons from another kit, just because that's really kind of disappointing, and I almost don't want to put these on the model because, I mean, well, look at them. That's just that's the best I can describe it. It's just. Then there's one large piece of flash on the back of the fuselage. You actually see this is really see-through and flimsy, and like, there. That's easy to clean up. Obviously I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and trim that a lot, but and that just basically would have come off by itself in shipping almost. So there's the pieces. Oh, and I wanted to show you, now that they're out of the package. So there is the ethereal, with and without his chair, that'll sit in the command center. There are also 2 of these Fire Warrior members that would also be included in the command center. And last, but certainly not least, is the aircast pilot in the escape pod / cockpit. And there's actually 2 pieces that go across the top of this to form a canopy. So this thing actually basically is a little self-sustained ship that can escape in the event that the Orca gets blown to smithereens. So that's a review of the whole kit. I'll get back to you again once I've started putting it together.